Hesquext, Lemlunch Pesia. Good morning and thank you everyone. It is an honor to represent the 12 tribes of Montana: the Crow, Northern Cheyenne, Dakota, Grovant, Assiniboine, Chippewa Cree, Blackfeet, Little Shell Chippewa, and where I'm an enrolled tribal member of the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes. We as indigenous sovereign nations have a long practice of honoring our veterans. With that tradition, our recognized history of tribal members serving in all branches of the armed forces at the highest rate per capita among races and ethnic groups in the United States. We are proud to be part of the USS Montana's formal launching. It's an honor to know our warrior spirit will be carried by this highly advanced and fast machine that will carry out many missions and keep our land safe. We salute and send the Creator's blessings over all men and women who help build, equip, crew, train, and eventually set sail in defense of our nation. We are pleased to offer our highest respects with an honor song, a tradition reserved for the most deserving. May the Creator watch over all of the crew members and keep them safe from harm. They will be in our prayers.
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Boykin, President of Newport News Shipbuilding, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the christening of the newest Virginia-class submarine, Montana SSN 794. I would like to thank Martin Charlot and the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes of the Flathead Indian Reservation for beginning our ceremony with the Native American honor song and bringing a piece of Big Sky country to Virginia. This is our first christening ceremony since the COVID-19 pandemic began. And while we are unable to welcome our guests on site, we are pleased you could join us on our live webcast and take part in this special day virtually. Joining me at this shipyard socially distanced and 6 feet apart, are our distinguished platform guests. Please welcome Captain Michael Delaney, Montana's Prospecting Commanding Officer. Vice Admiral Richard Snyder, Naval Inspector General. The Honorable Gregory Slavanik, Acting Undersecretary of the Navy. And our guest of honor and ship's sponsor, the Honorable Sally Jewell. We appreciate each of you being here to celebrate this historic milestone in the life of the nation's newest Virginia-class submarine. Usually, our audience would be full of Montana's shipbuilders and crew. Because that is not possible this year, we're taking a page from professional sports. And we have cardboard cutouts of some of the women and men who are bringing this submarine to life. Thank you to all of you who volunteered to be part of this ceremony in this very unique way. We are fortunate to have one of Montana's shipbuilders here in person to perform the national anthem. He joined the Newport News shipbuilding team just 5 months ago and serves as a deck electrician in our submarine program. Please welcome Connor Grief. Please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Connor. That was beautiful and a history-making start to your shipbuilding career. To deliver today's invocation, we have another shipbuilder who came to the shipyard 2 years ago, following a distinguished career with the United States Air Force. Today, he serves as a leader in our manufacturing organization. And most importantly, he is a native of the great state of Montana. Please welcome Newport News Shipbuilding Director of Manufacturing, Jason Sutton.
Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer mentioned I was born and raised in Montana. I met my wife in Montana, and we raised our kids to believe that although the military moved us around all over the world, that Montana truly was home and the last best place. I also discovered my faith in Montana. I hold to the Christian faith, and as a result, today I pray in that form and with that intent of glorifying Jesus Christ. I invite you to pray with me in the spirit of my faith, if you like, and in the spirit of your faith as it allows. If you bow your heads. Heavenly Father, throughout history, humankind occasionally calls out to the world for the best, to gather together in an endeavor that results in the construction of something that stands the test of time and sustains the world's marvel. Although it pales into comparison to your creation, we ask your blessing on the people that designed, built, and created this technological wonder, now known as the SSN Montana. Bringing together the best material to put in the hands of the best craftsmen, using the best designs, Newport News Shipbuilding and Electric Boat Partnership has assembled a Virginia-class submarine that should always command admiration. At the end of your creative process, Lord, you rested and with pride declared, it was very good. Today, 2 companies, thousands of people with dozens of skill sets are represented to stand before you, our maker, and a customer we serve, to declare with equal pride that our offering, our creation, is very good. We pray honor, vigilance, and exceptional skill for the vessel's United States Navy crew. As they cross the threshold of this submarine, may a deep and abiding sense of integrity combined with courageous action to guide them to use the SSN Montana as an instrument of great power applied with spirit-filled wisdom. Lord, we pray that as the silent century prepares to run deep in harsh oceanic environment and in close proximity to a formidable foe, that their purpose remain pure as they stand guard. And when called upon to wield the sword, may it strike with swift accuracy and render further violence useless to realize a peace beyond understanding. Lord, you pursue each of us with a tenacious grace, giving us more good than we deserve and taking upon yourself the burden of our sins. We can see in the operation of this massive weapon system an analogy of spiritual transformation as it sinks below and rises again repeatedly across the globe, as if being baptized over and over again. It reminds us of your resurrection and power over death. May that which we built enable peace and sustain freedom. May your strength surround every inch of this vessel and hold in faithful regard the souls that operate within it, no matter where it goes or what it must do. We pray all this in your holy name, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Jason. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The tradition of christening ships dates back more than 4,000 years. Newport News Shipbuilding has participated in this time-honored practice since our company's founding more than a century ago. It is an important ceremony in the life of a ship, signaling it is watertight, ready to launch, and prepared to start the next and final stage of its construction before going to sea. For our shipbuilders, the christening signifies years of hard work, commitment, and dedicated service. It is also a visible reminder of the ways in which we serve our nation and contribute to our nation's defense. Whether it's with welding torches or with engineering calculations, by negotiating contracts, purchasing material, pouring steel, or by keeping our facility clean and sanitized in the midst of a global pandemic, our shipbuilders, 25,000 strong, contribute each and every day to something greater than themselves. A ship's christening is one of the very few opportunities to bring our loved ones inside the facility and see the results of our work, the impact of which is immeasurable. There is nothing more satisfying than experiencing the awe and wonder of your child, your spouse, or your parents seeing for the first time a majestic, stealthy boat like Montana, leaving you beyond proud to say, I helped to build that. So, yes, we are disappointed we couldn't host the normal pomp and circumstance today, and that our shipbuilders and their families couldn't be here in person to witness history. But as shipbuilders, we know the show must go on. Our work doesn't stop for a pandemic, just as the Navy's mission never ends. It is our honor, our duty, and our calling to keep the wheels of shipbuilding turning, and in doing so, to bring Montana one step closer to her ultimate mission of defending the United States of America. Today's extraordinary accomplishment extends well beyond the banks of the James River. Shipbuilding is a team sport. We build these submarines with our teammates at General Dynamics Electric Boat and suppliers from across all 50 states and with strong support from Congress. Typically, we would have representatives from these organizations with us here today in person. For today's ceremony, though, they are joining us remotely on video. And it is now my honor to share their message with you.
Now is the time for celebration. The christening milestone is a significant event in the life of a new construction submarine. The shipbuilders should be very proud for all of the hard work that they put into Montana over the last 5 years. The shipbuilders have risen above and beyond all expectations. When COVID came onto the shipyard in March, there was not really an understanding of how we would respond. And through social distancing and embracing this new technical challenge in front of us, the shipbuilders were able to rally together to still achieve this major milestone.
Today marks the culmination of nearly 9 million hours of work by thousands of talented shipbuilders at EB and Newport News. Montana is the 21st ship to join the Virginia class, which provides our Navy with superior mission capability and unmatched stealth and strike capacity. Like our shipbuilding partner, the men and women of EB are proud of what we do to support our sailors, our Navy, and our nation. Within Montana's emblem is the Latin phrase, nobis propositum vitae defende, which translates to, may she defend our way of life. This is our wish for the Montana and all who sail on her.
I'm from Montana, and to see this submarine come together, I really appreciate the shipyard giving me the opportunity to be a part of it. You always got to make sure everyone understands what we're doing because of what we build and making sure everything is right, because it's not something to play around with. You got to be on top of your game every day, all day.
I want to congratulate Newport News Shipbuilding, the Navy, the ship's sponsor, former Secretary Sally Jewell, and our shipbuilders on the christening of the USS Montana, the latest Virginia-class submarine. The citizens of the great state of Montana can be justifiably proud that this new ship carries their state's name. While I know the COVID-19 pandemic is limiting our ability to celebrate in person, this momentous occasion would not have been possible without the hard work and dedication of our shipbuilders. And so to the shipbuilders, I know the pandemic has put additional stress on you and your families. So please know that your work on the Montana during this trying time for our nation is in the Newport News shipbuilding tradition of building great ships for our Navy and in support of our national security. Congratulations and thank you.
The christening is really our opportunity here at the shipyard to pause and celebrate the hard work of a lot of men and women, the hustle and bustle on our Virginia-class submarine program. You can see it every day, and a christening is a victory for all the shipbuilders here in reaching the milestone of success and being able to deliver the boat to the pier.
In Montana, we have such a rich legacy of service, being home to one of the largest veterans per capita populations in the nation. This event is all the more special considering it's been over 100 years since a U.S. Navy ship has been named in Montana's honor. And of the states in existence during the age of the battleship, Montana was the only state to never share its name with a battleship. This day is long overdue. I had the pleasure of hosting Commander Delaney and members of the USS Montana crew just over a year ago to discuss the moment this day would come. I'd like to thank all who are gathered here for making this great historic event possible. God bless the men and women who will serve aboard the USS Montana, and may God continue to bless this great United States of America.
It's really a milestone of achievement and teamwork as a people that really just pulls everybody together working towards something greater than themselves.
From the newest guy to my senior guys, they've done everything I asked them to do. I mean, they've been there for me and for the program, and they've done an excellent job, and I'd like to say thank you.
Greetings from Big Sandy, Montana. I want to take a moment to share some words with you on this very special occasion, the official christening of the Montana. Today is a culmination of tireless efforts by so many people, from Montana to Virginia, and on behalf of the brave men and women who serve in the United States Navy. I especially want to recognize the submarine sponsor and my friend, the Honorable Sally Jewell, for being with this project every step of the way. This journey started back in 2015 when I had the honor of joining former Secretary of the Navy, Ray Mabus, in naming this vessel for the Treasure State. The Montana is a force to be reckoned with. It's a Virginia-class submarine, a class of nuclear-powered cruise missile fast attack submarines equipped with the latest stealth, intelligence gathering, and weapon system technology. At a time of new global threats and challenges, it'll represent Montana and our nation proudly in the waters by defending us around the world for decades and decades to come. I want to thank the active duty sailors and Marines who serve on vessels like the one we're celebrating today for keeping us safe. I know you will do Montana proud. It is an incredible honor to be a part of this journey with all of you.
Building it for the Navy in the end, when they really get aboard that ship, knowing that everything is working properly, things are in place like they should be. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you get on that boat in the end. It is beautiful.
Good job to everybody that was involved with the ship, because it's a big accomplishment every time we do this.
I appreciate the opportunity to be part of this outstanding ceremony. Thank you for inviting me to talk at today's christening. I'm honored to serve as Montana's lone voice in the U.S. House of Representatives. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. We live in a very challenging, unprecedented time. The coronavirus has upended our lives in ways we couldn't have predicted 8 months ago. Today I'm working so that Montanans in every corner of our state can get back to work and enjoy a prosperous life in a safe, secure America. Part of that work means providing service members with the tools they need to protect this country. While these uncertain times are keeping us apart, it will not stop us from celebrating this important culmination of hard work and dedication. The USS Montana will be one of the most sophisticated submarines in the world. I want to thank the shipbuilders for their service and sacrifice to complete this technical marvel. Know that this submarine will always embark with the support of all Montana, and any sailor who boards her will be an honorary Montanan. May God keep this submarine and her crew safe. I wish the USS Montana and her crew success as they prepare for the sea trials. Thank you, and God bless America.
You know, I stayed here from the beginning to the end. I was very dedicated. I did 10-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts, and I did what I had to do to make sure that this ship, as long for our Navy, will be out on the fleet.
I think it's amazing that all the different trades can come together and get the boat to the point where it is now.
I'm retired from the military. I consider this a continuation of my service to my country, so I'm very proud to serve in a different capacity. It's great work with the finest shipbuilders in the world.
We appreciate everyone who sent messages, and we know you are with us here today in spirit. We are fortunate to work alongside Montana's officers and crew each day, led by their commanding officer, who is our next speaker. He is a graduate of the United States Naval Academy and earned his master's degree right here in Hampton Roads from Old Dominion University. He has served on U.S. Navy ballistic missile and fast attack submarines, including 5 strategic deterrent patrols on USS Maryland. He's been a great teammate, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with him and his fine crew as we work together to bring Montana to life. Please welcome Montana's prospective commanding officer, Captain Michael Delaney.
Ms. Jewell, Secretary Slavonic, Vice Admiral Snyder, Ms. Boykin, and distinguished guests, it's an honor to address you today on behalf of the crew of Montana. While the COVID-19 pandemic precluded my crew's attendance, it is by no means diminishes their hard work and effort alongside our shipbuilding partners to get the boat to this point in construction. While there is a natural fear and apprehension associated with an enemy that you cannot see, it has not deterred our mission with Newport News Shipbuilding to deliver Montana to the Navy as one of the most capable warships ever built. To the crew, together we have the privilege and responsibility to establish Montana's legacy. I am honored to lead you in this endeavor and grateful to serve with each and every one of you. This is usually the part where I would pause and yell to my crew, "Do or die?" To which they would thunderously reply, "Big Sky." I imagine that they are listening virtually and responding from home. Just make sure you tell your neighbors this is totally normal. To my wife and family at home and the spouses and family members of the Montana crew, thank you for your sacrifice. Without your support, none of this would be possible. Yesterday morning, a handful of crew members had the opportunity to meet with our sponsor for the third time. As Ms. Jewell can attest, the crew has grown significantly from our first visit, almost tripling in size to now 133 sailors from 33 different states across the Union. An interesting fact that you might not know is that our ship sponsor has more submarine underway time than several of our newest sailors and more under ice time than half the crew. Very fitting for a sponsor who understands the day-to-day rigors associated with life on board a submarine. This experience was recently on full display when, as pilot, she successfully conducted an emergency servicing in the trainer in a simulated high sea state. Quite impressive. Ms. Jewell, we are honored to have you as our ship sponsor. One of the many privileges we have in building a command from the ground up is to develop a relationship with the boat's namesake state, a relationship that'll last the entirety of the ship's life and beyond. While 2 previous attempts by the Navy were scrapped, here we stand almost 100 years since the commissioned vessel bears the proud name Montana. Over the past 2 years in command, I've had the honor to visit several parts of the state, from its natural beauty and rugged outdoors to mutton busting at rodeos. The thing that stood out the most was the people that we met throughout the state and the reception with which they received the crew. Since the day Montana stood up as a command, I've had the honor of working with the Montana Commission Committee President, Dr. Bill Whitsitt. Born into a military family, serving in government for many years, and having both his sons serve in the Navy, it is clear that service to country is a tenet of the Whitsitt family. As the Montana Commission Committee President, Bill has given countless hours of his time preparing for Montana's eventual commissioning. He orchestrated 4 namesake visits to show the crew a little piece of Montana and has even opened his own home to Montana sailors. Words cannot express how grateful I am for all Bill and the committee has done for the crew of Montana. And thus, without further ado, I would like to virtually introduce Dr. Bill Whitsitt as he explains the significance of the ship's bell you will see here at the ceremony, which will be rung by Miss Jewell prior to the christening Montana's hull.
This ship's bell is from the first USS Montana, armored cruiser number 13, commissioned in 1908. Now on permanent display here at the Adams Center at the University of Montana. It was aboard the Montana off the coast of Mexico during her revolution. It was with the Montana on World War I convoy escort duty, and it was with her in the Ottoman Empire. The bell being rung officially today for the first time is also filled with historic significance. It's a smaller, exact replica of this one, but it has the powerful emblem of SSN 794. And just as our treasure state carries the motto Oro y Plata, gold and silver, the new bell does as well. Melted into her are gold and silver dolphin pins worn by qualified submariners, and there is real Montana gold and silver in her as well. So now, and as we will when the bell is formally presented to our namesake warship for her service life when commissioned next year, on behalf of all Montanans, we ask in the words of the Navy hymn, "Bless those who serve beneath the deep, through lonely hours their vigil keep. May peace their mission always be. Protect each one, we ask of thee."
Thank you, Captain Delaney, Bill Whitsitt, and the entire Montana Commissioning Committee. We will have an opportunity a little later in the ceremony to hear this magnificent ship's bell. Our next speaker serves as the Navy's 41st Inspector General and supports the Naval Sea System Command. in maintaining the highest level of integrity and public confidence. A decorated naval aviator, he has held numerous Navy leadership positions and served our country at sea on the Newport News-built aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson. He joined us 2 years ago for the christening of Montana's sister ship, Delaware, and we are pleased to have him back with us today. Please welcome Admiral Rick Snyder.
Well, good morning. It's an honor to be here today for such a distinguished event with such distinguished company. This is a great day for the Navy and a great day for the nation. As you heard, twice there have been Montana battleships on the drawing board, but they didn't get off the drawing board. So it's about time we remedy that today by christening the 21st Virginia-class submarine, Montana. It's a special privilege for me as a naval aviator to be here, not as a submariner. My career as a helicopter pilot was spent trying to find our submarines in exercises, and it gave me a first-hand, awesome appreciation for our country's submarines and the men and women who sail in them. They were the best, they are the best, and with Montana they will continue to be the best. In an uncertain world, one thing is certain. Our submarine force is in high demand. In an era of great power competition, submarines are the coin of the realm, and the U.S. submarine force has no peer. The Navy and the nation need what Montana and her crew will bring. While the obvious centerpiece of today's event is this marvelous boat, it didn't just magically appear, nor will it just magically sail off and defend our nation's interests. It's an important part of today, but people are just as important. The Honorable Sally Jewell, for her service to our nation and as the boat's sponsor. The members of Congress who joined us this morning, and all those members who provide the outstanding support to our submarine force. Acting Undersecretary Slavanik, the thousands of men and women on the Newport News shipbuilding and electric boat team. Your hard work, pride, and patriotism comes to life in this boat. USS Montana Commissioning Committee, your efforts connect the boat and her crew to the American people. Finally, Commander Delaney and the entire Montana crew. You have a sacred responsibility to defend our great nation. You will represent not only the U.S. submarine force, our Navy, but also Montana. The submarine and her crew will sail the world with the ideals of our great nation at her core, and they must be prepared to fight to defend those ideals. I am certain that they will, because USS Montana is designed by the best, built by the best, and operated by the best. Thank you, and God bless Montana and all who sail in it.
Thank you, Admiral. It is now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today. Gregory Slavanik serves as the Deputy and Principal Assistant to the Secretary of the Navy, as well as Chief Operating Officer and Chief Management Officer for the Navy. His position today is the culmination of a diverse career which began as a seaman recruit and concluded 34 years later as a Rear Admiral. During his Navy career, he served in combat deployments to Vietnam, Operations Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and Operation Iraqi Freedom. His final Navy assignment was in public affairs, which transitioned into a civilian career in the communications industry. Before accepting the call to serve in this current position, he served on Capitol Hill as Chief of Staff for U.S. Senator James Lankford from Oklahoma. And if all of that isn't impressive enough, he is also an author, a sports enthusiast, and minority partner of the professional basketball team, Oklahoma City Cavalry. Please welcome Acting Undersecretary of the Navy, Gregory Slavanik.
It's a great Navy day, and Sally, nice to meet you. I know a lot about you. Jennifer, great to see you. Admiral, good to see you. Skipper. So one thing I liked about in uniform, I could wear a cover and it wouldn't affect my hair. So the Navy folks have no problem when they give their remarks. But I feel like, as you know, I am from Oklahoma, and I really feel very comfortable here in this ceremony because I've attended very many Native American ceremonies in Oklahoma, and so with Montana and your Native American heritage, I feel very comfortable. Plus the fact your commissioning committee chairman, Bill Whitsett, and I have been friends for many years, and he and Sally, I know, now reside in the great state of Montana, but before they moved to Montana, they resided in the great state of Oklahoma. So, Bill, Sally, I know you're not here today, but please accept my best wishes, and I look forward to coming to Montana whenever my journey on the Hill ends. So, it's an honor to join you here today to christen this remarkable feat of engineering. This is a great day for the Navy, the United States, and our allies and friends. July 11th, 1987, 33 years ago, I was a young lieutenant commander, and I was assigned to Group 2 in Groton, Connecticut to support the public affairs effort in the commissioning ceremony for the USS Helena. It was then that I realized the significance and importance of these ceremonies have on all involved in the life of this great ship. It's a privilege to mark the transition of a vessel from a mere hull to a submarine with the name and spirit. And it's a very special honor to again have the opportunity to join the great people of Montana to christen another boat representing your great state. The USS Montana will enhance our fleet with next generation stealth, surveillance, and special warfare capabilities. It sends a signal to friends and foe alike that we will maintain supremacy under the waves and extend the lethality and readiness in every domain. This powerful platform is proof of an ironclad relationship between the Navy and industrial partners who form the backbone of our maritime strength. When it joins the fleet, USS Montana will extend the reach and strength of our force with the ability to respond to great power challenges with the full might of America, ingenuity, and partnership. Admiral Rickover, the father of the nuclear Navy, once said, "The devil is in the details, but so is salvation." Well, it's these details that brought us here today, and the details speak to the laser focus of every engineer, technician, builder, and sailor who had the hand in production and launch of this next generation platform. USS Montana embodies all the strengths that power our Navy, our people, our capabilities, and processes. Let me begin by discussing the capabilities. The USS Montana can attack targets ashore with a highly accurate Tomahawk missile. It can conduct covert long-term surveillance of land, littorals, and the sea. It elevates our anti-submarine and anti-ship power. It gives us an edge in mine delivery and detection. It detects the global reach of our special forces. The attention to detail that has gone into the design and production of the reactor plant would have instilled Admiral Rickover with pride. The reactor, which will last the life of the submarine, will reduce the costs and increase the time underway, extending the reach of our Navy and the readiness of our nation. The USS Montana also demonstrates the power of processes. As a continual learning enterprise, the Navy must have the processes in place to incorporate the operational needs of the fleet as well as strategic demands of our national defense strategy. Each new platform must be forged by the sea with the specifications of the next generation building on the experiences of the last. And that's what we've done here. The Virginia-class submarines have developed using a block upgrade philosophy where each contract block incorporates design improvements and the cost efficiencies learned from the experience of the one before. While this submarine has the capacity to project power ashore, on the surface and undersea, it is important to recognize the people involved at every stage of bringing this ship to life, because our people are the ones who make a difference. The USS Montana is proof of what teamwork of all the people, civilian, contractor, and military, can accomplish together. And needless to say, the COVID environment in which we have experienced over the last 6-7 months has certainly been a challenge, and no more of a challenge here at the shipyard. I also want to congratulate the Montana Commissioning Committee. As Bill Whitsett, who called me Thursday this week, reminded me that it's not a commissioning committee, it is the Montana Committee. So I've had the pleasure to be a member of the USS Oklahoma City Commissioning Committee in 1987, and I know and appreciate the time, commitment, and resources, Bill, you have dedicated and your commissioning committee have done for the support of the career at every event. And God willing, maybe I'll get an invitation to attend your commissioning ceremony next year. I want to thank the sponsor of the USS Montana, former Secretary of Interior, Secretary Jewell. There's a special bond that's created when a sponsor brings a ship to life. And I do hope that at the commissioning, we will have and allow you to see what that ceremony entails, because it is truly worth the price of admission. And so hopefully there will be a full attendance at that event. And I know that through the personal involvement and care of Secretary Jewell has shown for this undertaking, the Montana spirit will always live throughout the many challenges and missions of the USS Montana. Even when its crew can't see the sky, the big sky country will always be here with her. And I want to extend a special word of thanks to the sailors who will someday sail on the Montana and their families. I think it often goes unexplained and the families are unappreciated, but I know, Skipper, that the families are a key part of ensuring that the sailors have the enthusiasm, the determination, and the will to make sure that every deployment is successful. I recognize the extreme demands that the submarine service can place both on sailor and the family, and I stand by our nation in gratitude for your service. So to everyone here today, thank you for everything that you've done to make this day a reality. Bravo Zulu, to all of you, and to the future USS Montana, fair winds and following seas, thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Secretary Slavonic. I am now pleased to introduce Montana's sponsor and our very special guest of honor. Sally Jewell is a business executive and a public servant committed to the environment, diversity, and supporting a robust economy. She served as president and CEO of the outdoor adventure retailer REI before answering the call to serve as U.S. Secretary of the Interior under President Barack Obama. During her time as Interior Secretary, she was recognized for her collaborative approach to natural resources management and to rebuilding a trusting relationship with indigenous communities in the United States. For the past 3 years, she has led the Nature Conservancy, a global environmental organization, and she remains committed to efforts that connect people, particularly young people, to nature. The relationship, as you've heard, between a ship sponsor and her crew is a special one. When she christens this submarine today, Sally Jewell will not only officially name SSN 794 for the great state of Montana, but it is said she will also impart her spirit on the ship and on her crew. Having spent some time with Sally, I can tell you that when this submarine joins the world's greatest fleet, she will possess an intense passion and sense of adventure that is unique to her sponsor. Please welcome Montana's sponsor, the Honorable Sally Jewell.
Thank you, Jennifer. What a privilege to be here today. I just want to begin by acknowledging that we are on the ancestral homelands here of the Pamunkey people, the first Americans who helped welcome early settlers from England to the shores of the James River and the Chesapeake Bay back in the 1600s. I also want to recognize the many American Indian tribes from the great state of Montana and thank the Confederated Salish Kootenai tribes for the honor song that we all enjoyed this morning on behalf of all of the tribes of Montana. These are people who have lived in harmony with the lands and waters and wildlife of that special part of the world for which this boat is named. These first Americans have served in large numbers in our armed forces, despite the hardships that our government has imposed on them for hundreds of years. And their rich cultures continue to shape the character of our country. I also want to thank the elected officials from the state of Montana, Senator John Tester, Senator Steve Daines, U.S. Representative Gianforte, Governor Steve Bullock, and all of the other public servants who devote their time to the great state. And also our Navy and Department of Defense officials, Undersecretary of the Navy Slavonic, Admiral Snyder, Inspector General, a very important role within the Navy, and as has been said many times, Bill Whitsitt and the USS Montana Commissioning Committee. With the support of Bill's wife, Christy, and so many volunteers, I look forward to formally ringing the special bell that they have had made commemorating the ties of the USS Montana, a fast attack submarine, to her predecessor namesake of the last century. Jennifer, as president of Newport News Shipbuilding, you have a capable team working in partnership with General Dynamics Electric Boat. I'm sure you are enormously proud of all of the shipbuilders here and your partner agency in Connecticut who have crafted this magnificent vessel that we sit underneath right now. And I want to give a special acknowledgement to the 135 officers and crew of what will soon become the USS Montana under the dedicated leadership of Commander and Captain Michael Delaney, for your devoted service to our country, supporting our freedom and peace around the world, and to the families of every member of the crew of the Montana who sacrificed so much to support all of us. In looking back over my 45-year career, 4 years spent in public service, it's by far the most meaningful and impactful. As Secretary of the Interior, I was privileged to see so much of our nation, visiting many tribal nations who have stewarded our lands and waters since time immemorial, and overseeing public lands that belong to all of us, to all Americans, not just now, but for generations to come. I was proud to accept a new name from Chief Earl Oldperson from the Blackfeet Nation in Montana that translates to Faraway Woman, for our work together to protect sacred sites from energy development and to uphold their treaty rights. I recognize that the freedoms we take for granted are not free, and the dedicated members of our armed forces put themselves in harm's way to ensure our safety, to uphold our democracy and our oath to the Constitution of the United States. And I, and I'm sure all of you, are deeply grateful for their service. I was given some amazing and fun opportunities as Secretary, like spending a night as a guest of the Navy on a sister submarine to the Montana, the USS New Mexico, doing exercises underneath the pack ice of the Arctic Ocean back in 2014. I saw firsthand the skill and the devotion of the submariners in their important work. And it's a privilege to serve as sponsor of this even better Virginia-class submarine, what will be the USS Montana, as our Navy, contractors, and shipbuilders continue to employ the newest technology and manufacturing techniques to make our Navy even more capable. Both Maid of Honor Mariah Gladstone and I have deep family ties to the Navy, mine through the Royal Navy, where generations of family members served before I immigrated to the United States as a young child. My great-great-grandfather was knighted for his work as an engineer, bringing steam engines to sailing vessels and surveying the inside passage near my current home in Washington State. Mariah's great-grandfather served our country in World War II and has many family members that have served since that time. The crest that you see right now on the bow of the Montana reflects the uniqueness of the Montana, from its first Native American stewards to the beautiful mountains, forests, plains, and abundant wildlife that we can all appreciate today. In the spirit of its namesake state, the USS Montana will explore some of the wildest places on Earth in service to us all. May the magnificent fighting capabilities of this incredible submarine be an appropriate deterrent to aggressors who seek to undermine freedom and democracy for the United States and our allies across the globe. May her crew be well trained, and I know they are. I have seen their training. And may all of our blessings carry the USS Montana and her crew in safety throughout her years of service to the American people. Thank you so much for this honor. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the Maid of Honor of Montana, Mariah Gladstone, a fellow engineer currently working on her master's degree, a resident of Montana, a member of the Blackfeet Nation, and now a proud homeowner in the state. I am just delighted to stand with Mariah in support of the Montana and her capable crew for the life of this amazing submarine. I may not make it for the life of the submarine, but I'm sure Mariah will. She will now share a few words of blessing. I just want to say that she came to the keel laying ceremony where she blessed and smudged the boat with burnt sage, as is their tradition. And I know that her words of blessing in the Blackfeet language will be meaningful to all of us, even if we may not fully understand. Thank you so much. Welcome, Mariah.
Hello, my name is Mariah Gladstone, and I am the Maid of Honor for the USS Montana. I'm really sorry that I'm not able to be there in person today, but I extend my greetings to both the ship's sponsor, Sally Jewell, as well as the entire ship's crew and anyone else that is present there. I'd like to give this blessing for the USS Montana so that it may do good on all of its journeys. You may join me in praying however you feel most comfortable. Ayo itspayat biopa. Ayo spomit the peaks. Ayo natawit the peaks. Ayo apista toki. Ayo napinatosi. Ayo sawit the peaks. Ayo tukanan. Katei kotsimatopenen. Kanis me knitzikanitapi. Natsitse akio tsoatses. Makik tsokapits. Natsutsutam kanitapi. Anum akio tsoatses okike. Thank you.
Thank you for those inspirational words, Sally, and thank you, Mariah, for your blessing all the way from Montana. Please be seated. In just a moment, we will make our way over to the bottle break platform. When we get there, Sally will ring the ship's bell, and then the shipyard whistle will sound, signaling it's time to christen SSN 794. It is our custom after the bottle break to do two things. First, no christening would be complete without the official song of the United States Navy. So I'd like to thank, in advance, the U.S. Fleet Forces Band for their performance of Anchors Aweigh. Second, it is our tradition to present the sponsor with the bottle, or what is going to be left of it, I am sure. In accordance with social distancing protocols, we will wait until after the ceremony to present Sally with her bottle. But when we do, it will be stored inside a beautiful, handcrafted commemorative box made by our own pattern shop. Sally, we hope it will serve as a reminder of Montana's christening and of your special role in it. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, I'd like to ask Sally Jewell and Captain Delaney to put on your christening masks and join me as we make our way to the bottle break platform. Shall we?
I christen thee, United States ship Montana. May God bless this submarine and all who sail in her.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. Special thanks to the christening team from across the shipyard that coordinated today's event. And thanks to our online audience for witnessing this historic christening. Have a great weekend.